welcome back to another Marketing Monday. This is the second video from my Marketing Monday series where I give you guys some of my knowledge from being in the marketing field / communications field and hope that it helps any of you guys with questions. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel yet, I do these videos every single Monday, and then one time a week I also post a lifestyle vlog. If you like that sort of content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel down below. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about 5 tips that I wish I knew when I started my college career in marketing / communications. Okay, so let's jump straight into this video. My first tip that I have for you guys is that you do not have to be good at numbers or math to be in digital marketing or marketing in general. That's actually the reason why I don't have a business marketing degree, but I have a communications degree. So the way that my degree is set up is I have a bachelor's in communications with a concentration in public relations. The reason that's set up that way is because the university that I went to didn't just have a degree or a major for public relations. So I could go into communication, but I would do a concentration in public relations. And that is extremely common for people who are in digital marketing. A lot of people have communications backgrounds, public relations backgrounds. I just think that if you are not the best at numbers, not the best at math, there are other options to get into marketing. Personally, I failed calculus 3 times, guys. And I'm not talking about like mentally I failed 3 times. No. I took the class, paid for it 3 times, and failed all 3 times. F's, straight F's. Actually, I think the last semester I got a D. Clear to say, like, I am not great at math when it comes to that sort of things. I could do algebra all day long, but can't do calculus to save my life. Also, another thing, financial accounting. That was going to be the end of me. I also took that one 3 times and failed. So once I was starting to see a trend, I realized it was time to go talk to my counselor and see what other options there were. And what my counselor told me was that for people who, I guess, aren't good at math or struggle in the math department but still want to go in that sort of field, can also go into communications or public relations and get a degree in that field and still be able to get a career in digital marketing. So that's my advice to you guys. If you are like me and are just not, numbers aren't your thing, math isn't your thing, then I highly recommend looking at your other options, because business marketing is not the end all be all. You do not have to have a business marketing degree to be in digital marketing or any sort of marketing. There are other degrees that you could also go into and still land a job in digital marketing or regular marketing. Personally, I'm not sure which degrees you could have. I'm sure like entrepreneurship or something along the lines of business would also work for you guys. But I just know that those 2 are highly requested in the field, and I would recommend communication if you are struggling with passing math classes. Tip number 2 is to use all your resources. I'm sure I'm gonna sound like a student counselor when I say this, but that is what got me through so many classes. And that was going to tutors that the school had offered, going to my professor's office hours, doing study groups. All these things immensely helped me ace my classes and just have a better understanding of what I'm learning. Because when you think about it, you're paying good money to go to college, and things like tutors, they're included in your tuition. Make sure to use these resources that you have. Go to the math lab, go to your professor's office hours and ask what you did wrong on that quiz. You know, just use every little bit of resources that you have to your disposal, because when you go out to the real world, you're not gonna have those resources and you're gonna wish that you use them when you're in college. So you ask the questions that you needed to ask in order to get a better understanding of what you're learning in class. So I wish I had done that from the beginning. I remember my first couple years in college, I didn't really do that much. I never went to tutors when I was in high school. I just kind of didn't feel a need to do it. But once I got to college and the classes were becoming more and more advanced, I realized I was gonna need some help, and office hours weren't always available, so I had to turn to tutors, which are so helpful, guys. There's not always one-to-one tutors. Not every single subject has that opportunity, but I know a lot of the tutors are very small group sizes, so you still have that opportunity to get that time that you need to ask someone and get a better understanding of what you're learning. All right, tip number 3. I am gonna say this like I do in every single one of my videos, and that is to get an internship, guys. I am very surprised at the amount of people that tell me that they had never gotten an internship in college and they just didn't have to. Well, my boyfriend graduated in marketing, business marketing. Well, the business marketing degree surprisingly did not require an internship to graduate, where the communications degree did require it. So even though I was sort of forced to take an internship, I'm so happy that I did. I definitely feel that when I was looking for jobs and I was trying to build my resume, that it definitely helped to have a internship on my resume. And this is gonna sound crazy, but if I could go back and do it all over again, I would have done at least 2 internships, not just one, at least 2. I didn't really start thinking about internships till my last semester of being a senior in college. If I would have thought of it a lot sooner, then I definitely would have gone for a second internship, because you can just learn so many great things, and it's also such a great way of making connections. Because more than just the money, I didn't get paid on my internship. I just was doing it for free, like most internships are gonna be. But more than the money, I think what is most valuable is the connections that you build. Even though you may be in a position where you're interning for free, it doesn't mean when you're done with college and graduate that you are not gonna be considered for a position that actually pays really well. So you could either move up in that company that you're working for, get connections and work for another company. So there's just so many great benefits of internships that I highly recommend that. For my 4th tip, I always get asked the question of what was the most useful class you took throughout your college career? And every time I go back to my business etiquette writing class. I think that when it comes to real world situations, more so than the strategies that I learned in my business classes, the most useful one to this day is knowing how to address people correctly in emails. You know, how to properly word the headline of an email so that you get the fastest and best response. Just knowing how to be very clear and concise in your emails is huge and can just make your professionalism just jump. So I always say that my business writing comp class is the class that I definitely recommend. It is just one of those classes that you are going to use every single day. I send out probably 50 emails a day, and every single day I know that I feel more confident in my responses because I took that class and I know how to address people properly, and I know that what I'm saying sounds professional. And another thing, not so much a class, but a useful tool that I'm sure if you're in the communications field, at least in my university, the professors drilled this into our heads, is to always use and keep our APA format like guidelines book. And you think it's silly because you hear of all these professors assigning you textbooks and you're like, oh, I'm never gonna crack this thing open again. Well, let me tell you something. If you are either a copywriter, or you're writing press releases, or you're working in any field of public relations / communications, you are going to want to keep that APA textbook, because it's something that you're gonna refer to like every day, and it's just gonna be easier to keep it and not have to repurchase it or look on Google and not be sure if it's the correct information and the correct answer that you're gonna be looking for. My 5th and final piece of advice for students who are marketing or communication majors is to go to as many job fairs and as many events like that as possible. I know you probably only think of those things in your last semester right before you're gonna graduate college, but if you start building those connections before that, and you can score internships that way, you can land a job that way, there's just so many opportunities that way that I wish I could have done it sooner. You know, I didn't really see it as something valuable, but when you think about it, your college is inviting all these major corporations to come down to your college and give people opportunities to work for them. Why would you not take that opportunity? So I definitely recommend attending job fairs. And another thing, which sounds kind of funny, is to be friends with your professors. A lot of professors can be really fun to talk to and really interesting just to like kind of pick their brain, and they have years worth of experience and knowledge, not just in their field, but knowing how to get a job, and they have so many connections too. It's just so great knowing that you have a connection that's in the field already, and if anything, you can always reach out for help. All right guys, that is it for my 5 tips for communication and marketing majors. If you guys have any questions that I didn't answer in this video, please drop a comment down below. I respond to all of my comments, like I said, and I'm more than happy to have a chat with you guys. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye guys.